Hey folks, it's Lindsey House with SPS back in the building over at the house that Irvin built. Irvin Magic Johnson, that is. That means I'm at the home of the Everett Vikings. You know that if you see this guy to my right, Mr. Treyshaun Adams, the head coach. Coach Trey, good to see you again, man.
How you doing? Always a pleasure.
Yeah. You know, I'm so grateful for the experience I get to have. I get to be in practices and see teams develop. I see them go through their experiences. And thanks to the Capital Region Community Foundation, with the grant they gave SPS, I can talk about mental toughness and mental health. So what a great way to just get right to it.
Right.
Talking about mental toughness and coaching these young players out here, how do you describe that if you had to describe what it's like dealing with the mental health, mental toughness issues of this generation of athletes?
It's a 50-50 battle. It's basketball and then it's the mental health stuff with, I'm not a doctor and anything like that, but you see it and, just dealing with it from life experiences, they have other things that they're dealing with that you can't just push under the rug. You gotta speak to that too. You gotta coach to that sometimes too. So I kind of monitor that. I got good people around to kind of help with that. And I talk to my boys. We have a lot of conversations, and that's one thing I've always kind of incorporated is talking to them and just seeing what's going on and what they're dealing with.
Well, that's definitely being noted because when I talked to several of your players, they talked about you and how you connect with them, and it's bigger than basketball. And I know you personally, and I know that's the case. But it just seems so much. So how is it you, man? I don't see no grades or nothing, man. How are you managing anything and everything that can pop off when you're a head coach for a basketball program?
I don't know, man. I tell them all the time, y'all not gonna take my hairline from me not too soon.
I draw the line right there. Yeah. You're not gonna do that, man. I'm trying to get that. Happy belated birthday, too, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Now, Coach, you're doing a great thing. Talk about inheriting the reins of just a great program. It's one thing to get that head coaching call, and I remember that time when that transition happened. Shout out to Casey Keenan. I know Casey's probably watching this. What's up, fam? But it's the house that Magic built. Next up, Desmond Ferguson and what they do. So many great people you can call out. So what's it like, stepping into those shoes?
It's like when I got the job, I said it's surreal, really, because as far as my lifetime, I know 5 coaches have been here. Mr. Fox and Coach Jones, who I played for, and then Desmond and KC, and then I know there's probably some way before that or whatever, but. Coach Jones here forever, and just to see the people that have come through before me while I was here that I got to play with, and then I came up after me, and just the legacy that Everett carries, it was like I said, surreal. And then to inherit the guys that I did, it kind of continued that tradition of I got these good guards and play fast, and you got talent, and so this year it's a different situation.
That's how you describe it, different.
Yeah, it's a different situation.
Right.
It's way more teaching. It's way more development. I don't have a lot of athletes or basketball players, so the school of choice or whatever the case may be, there's not a lot of athletes in the school that Everett High School is used to. So I'm not using that as an excuse to just let the program go to whatever. I'm gonna motivate, I gotta pick it up in other areas, gotta make sure they're overcompensating, because we're not going to let that slip just because we're short on players.
Right.
If we got 5, then we got 5, and we get those 5. So I just been pushing different buttons that I'm having.
He's a button pusher.
That I may haven't had to push as much previously because I have the basketball guys. Sometimes I can just let them kind of rock out. With this, I gotta kind of take control a little bit.
Did you got to go deep in your bag, or go get some more tricks?
Yeah, I gotta go real deep. But sometimes with a team like this, it's not even like yesterday versus Lansing. I told them there's not a lot of schemes and tricks for this game. You guys have to come to play. You guys have to play hard. You have to go overcompensate. You're not big. So if you play tough, I can coach you. I can get you there. But if you're kind of slacking and you don't know if you want to be there, we play Saturday, and just the energy just wasn't there for whatever reason. It was a Saturday game. And yesterday we lost, but we fought to the end and the whole way. And we were down our point guard who turned his ankle. And I told him after the game, I can coach that. When you come to play and you're aggressive and you're not scared, give me 5 guys that aren't scared. I'll figure the basketball stuff out. In the teams that we're playing, there's no All-Americans on any of those teams. So, you come to play and you got a chance to win every night. And so I just been getting them to play above what they even think their talent level is, just to play harder, to tap into something. I'm going deep in my bag, but they're going even deeper in theirs because I'm pushing them there. I'm pushing those buttons. So if they can reach in there and they can show that fight, because some guys on the other team, they may be more talented than you, but they're not tougher than you. They're not faster than you. They don't have more heart than you. They're actually kind of scared once you guys show your toughness. They don't really want that. at, and where their talent leaves off, where does that, their confidence and all that pick up, and you kind of see that with some guys. So I'm just tapping into that confidence, giving them, motivating them to be confident, letting them know it's okay. You're gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna yell, keep going. So I just, it's fun. Like, it's different. It's definitely different.
Well, you got that, man. I'm hearing all the great things you're saying, and I love the fact how, despite you not having the quote unquote talent level, you're still coaching. Because when I saw you a couple of weeks ago, we were talking. You were like, Lynn, let me tell you what's going on. I was like, okay, because the flip side of it is I may be in Detroit or somewhere else in the state for a big showcase and big names and all these coaches. I'm going to kind of follow up on that too. But I think coaches have to understand you're not going to always have that awesome lineup. So it really called coaches out that it's cool when you got all the players and you juniors and seniors who've been around, but if you build a program, you still got to be able to give it all the time. Another thing I thought was interesting, we kind of talked about this offline. Tell me what you think. I got a call from a Division I program today. Like, look, we need our athletes and other athletes to talk on your platform about how the people who want to get to this level, what they need to work on. Because what's happening is there's a deficit when these young men and probably young women do get to the next level, as a college athlete too. So what can you say to individuals now who are listening and want to go to the next level that they need to really think and focus on, that's going to be a real strong transferable skill for them to really be of a substance, when they go to the next level if they get that chance?
Well, right now, with my guys, you got to go to school. You got to go to class.
Let's start with that.
Let's go start with that. Nothing you do on this court, anything you do on this court means nothing if you're not going to class. And that's been one thing I've been preaching to them heavy, because I'm not going to let it look like on my end, I'm not going to drop the ball to say basketball is more important than school.
Right.
You're in school all day long.
Right.
Your grades should show that. You should be in here giving effort. I don't care about these 2 hours that you put in, and here real hard, but you out there BSing with your teachers. It means nothing to me. I'd rather you be in class than being here. I don't care nothing about you becoming a better basketball player if you're not becoming a better student or a better person, because again, this won't get you anywhere without that. Right. So it's not one without the other. Right. I just love them. You got to be dedicated. You got to put in the extra time. You got to be able to work, and you got to be able to take criticism. What you think, take criticism. What you get from me is going to be 10 times worse coming from somebody that's coaching Division I and has coached All-Americans and All-Staters and this. So this,
and they think they want that.
They think they want it. This is nothing. So sometimes you have to suck it up, and you have to listen to what your coach has to say, because you're not always going to get a word in. Sometimes there's back and forth a little bit with us. You're not going to get that majority of the time. And then one of my main guys, and he's only a sophomore, TJ. We the Saturday, I kind of cut into him. We had a real moment, and point guard got hurt, other guy got hurt. It's on you now, really. And I told him, I can't coach your feelings right now. You got to get out your feelings. You got to step up. Like, I understand mental health, all of that. Right now, we have a game going on. And are you going to show up and show up in the moment, or are you going to sulk because it's not going your way? Right. Because in life, a lot of times it's not going to go your way.
Many times, not most.
Yeah, and how do you handle that adversity? Right now, you're losing to it. And, we had a talk in the locker room, and a really good talk. And, I tell you, yesterday, I couldn't be more proud of him, just showing from Saturday that conversation that I have. And like I said, we were still down that point guard that got hurt, and he took on the challenge. He said, I got this guy, I'm guarding this guy, and he guarded him, and he did what he had to do. He had a big game. We lost, but we lost fighting, and we lost with him. I let him know, you're one of our leaders. Sure. If they see your head go down, it trickles. Yeah. So I don't care what we're faced against. Even if you are scared, don't show it.
How do you think players in that type of situation handle that pressure? Is it a special kind of player that need to be coached up to handle the pressure of not just them doing well, but the team relying on them to kind of, have their chest out?
I think you have to kind of coach to that, because a lot of these kids, they are used to people catering to their feelings. I don't feel like women. I don't like over here. And
hey, is that why you said, hey man, get up off the floor?
You not hurt. You ain't hurt for real. Get up. Everybody's hurt. I'm hurt. I'm 40 years old, so I hurt. Hey, Coach,
let me just say, I wasn't here working. I'm here getting B-roll, looking around, and I hear Coach say, hey, I'm like, oh man. But it's like the same kids who say they love Coach Trey, he look up, but you telling them straight up, man, and I hear it in your voice to where it's firm and fair. It's not that you don't care, but you say, no, we're not. That's not what we on right now.
Yeah, and I can't sugarcoat it, because I would do him a disservice by sugarcoating it, because I see your talent, I see what you can be or what you could be. And for me to not tap into that, not push you, I'm going to do you a disservice because you're never going to reach that potential. And I'm never going to let you say you didn't reach your potential because I didn't push
I've
you.
heard the stories. I've heard a player say, I'm mad at my coach because he didn't stay on me.
Yeah.
And you can argue that one way or the other, but that, talking to your seniors, man, that time come and go real fast.
It come real fast. I told him the other day, I said, this time goes so fast that 4 years go so fast that you look up and it's 20 years later and you're back coaching where you was playing.
And you're an example of that.
Yeah, I graduated 20 years ago. That time goes like nothing. So take advantage of this, and you have the opportunity to get in this gym. And for you guys, I know a few of you guys want to play in college. You have the opportunity, but you got to take advantage of those. You got to take advantage of the classroom. Coach is calling about you, and they like the games that you play. And I say, oh, he got a 1.6. There ain't nothing they need to talk about.
And then you're not going to fudge or, put anything out there that's not accurate or closer because you don't want to impact your reputation
at all. And I don't want to show that this is what I'm promoting, and this is what my legacy at Everett is going to be. Like, oh, he didn't care about the grades. He just want to play. Like, no, basketball is not more important than your schoolwork and all of that. Like I said, we have a lot of talks, and I told him I used to have to argue with my mom about a C. So there's no way I'm letting y'all come to my gym and all D's and everything is just sweet. Yeah. I had to fight. Yeah. Like, my mom, like, what's the C about? Yeah. And y'all talking about, oh, I got all D's. Like, no, like, school not that hard. Right. You can tell me what you want, but it's not that hard.
Especially if you're locked into it.
Yeah. And if you go to class and get all D's and everything, you're not trying anywhere.
Yeah, no effort.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get caught up there. Coach, I'm going to get ready to wrap us up, but a few more things I want to do before we go. First of all, I just want you to keep in mind who your shout-out's going to be. Then you want to be politically correct. Because they're going to say, I know he's going to shout me out here, but no, you'll be cool. Somebody said, I'm shouting out everybody. That works out good, too. But lastly, the one thing you've been saying has been a theme I've been hearing here in Detroit. Shout out to Coach Kim Flowers. Shout out to Coach George Ward. Just a few coaches I was with recently. That's Detroit King and Detroit Henry Ford, city championship team, state championship team in the past. When their players were talking, they sounded just like you, Coach, and they said, Coach, don't care about basketball. And it sounds bad when you hear that, but it's the same theme you have with, like, I can care less about this part. Yeah. And I think that needs to be acknowledged, that you as a guy with connections, you can be trying to use this to get your next opportunity and manage it whatever way, but you're saying, I'm going to leave it all here to make sure you guys get what you get. Is that a struggle sometimes to make that decision, decide on one or the other?
It's not a struggle because when you really care about the kids and the program and all of that, it's not a struggle because you want what's best for all of them. Yeah. I want what's best for everybody. I want what's best for these kids. Yeah. So, no, I don't care about you being a good basketball player more than I care about you being a good person or a good student or a good son or a good father or whatever you're going to become in life. Because, like I said, I told him, at some point, basketball is going to come to an end. Mm-hmm. Whether that's after your sophomore year, your senior year, after 4 years in college. I told him, after LeBron's one of the greatest players ever, basketball is going to come to an end. Mm-hmm. How do people see you outside of that? What type of person are you outside of that? What's going to take you beyond basketball or beyond football, whatever it is that you do, that's going to want to make people deal with you or give you these opportunities or reach out to you and say, hey, I know that Trey guy. He's pretty cool. Right. What I'm offered or whatever has nothing to do with basketball. It's everything to do with how I am as a person. So I want them to know that the stuff that you can learn here with me, you can take out with a job and be an entrepreneur or just whatever it is that you're doing and your family and how you communicate with your family, your friends, your teachers, and everyone. You just can't come here and respect me. You need to respect those teachers. Yeah. You respect me because you want to do this. Yeah. You want to come to basketball practice. So I just try to make sure, I just want to help raise good men, and I want to be the example that a lot of guys and coaches were for me when I was coming up, and I know what I got and even on what I needed or what we needed, and so I try to fill those gaps, and I bring in people that can help with that has more experience than me, has more playing experience than me, or were better players than me, or lesser, just different roles. You're getting it from everywhere, and you're getting it from different angles, and so I just want them to know that I care, and not trying to pat my back or anything, but I can see that I'm doing a good job of that because my kids that graduate, I still have relationships with them and their coach. Can we get in the gym? Coach, I want to get in the gym. Coach, I'm trying to work out. Coach, I got to. Because
if they wasn't feeling you, they'll turn and they won't chance to get away with you.
Coach, we coming back to the game. So they still support me just how I support them. And in the summertime, I probably spend more time in the gym with my kids that graduated than the kids that's in the school. So
but that should be very noteworthy for your players, your current players, seeing how these guys are coming back. Because they talk about the family aspect. Speaking of that, last thing before we get out of here, who you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to shout out everybody that supports Everett basketball, me, the kids, that's giving me an encouraging word, even if you gave me a discouraging word, it helps me one way or the other. Whoever said anything, whether bad or good, I appreciate it.
You just hope they meant it.
Yeah, you know,
if you meant it, that's cool. We roll with it.
So,
Trey, man, let me tell you, you already know how I feel about you. You've been doing a great job. You're so great to be in the lives of these young men. A cool brother that's firm and fair, and it's easy to take that for granted, but I don't, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
With that being said, this is Lindsey Hudson with SPS, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.